All right, welcome everyone to another workshop offered by the University of Kentucky in the Office of Work Life. We are today going to be talking about our flexible spending accounts here at the university, and we have a representative from TASC here to talk to us about this resource, as well as someone on our benefits team here, Donna Henry, who is going to be just answering your questions from the benefits perspective here at the university. So we're going to go ahead and hand it over to Helen so that she can um, start her presentation, and we will be taking your questions at the end. So feel free to add those to the chat as we go. Thank you so much, Helen, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. My name is Helen Sherratt. I've been a relationship manager here at TASC for about 20 years, and I'm thankful for you guys to have me today, and think we can get started. I'm going to just shut my camera off, and we can start the presentation. All right, so today we're going to go over the Universal Benefit Account, which is otherwise known as your Health, Limited, and Dependent Care Flex Accounts. What you're going to learn today, obviously, is the tax advantages, features, and why you should participate, how to get money into your accounts and manage your account, and how to access the funds to get reimbursed for your eligible expenses. First up is the healthcare FSA. I do have a short video following this, so it'll just play out and then we can resume.
Looking for a way to afford healthcare and give yourself a raise at the same time? A medical flexible spending account allows you to set aside pre-tax money for doctor visits, medicines, and medical supplies. By using tax-free money to pay for healthcare, your take-home pay will increase by as much as 30%. It's easy to use. Pay your healthcare costs with a simple swipe of your TASC card. The money is then sent from your funds. You never need to file a claim again. To enroll, set the amount to be taken in equal parts from each paycheck. You can only change the amount for certain life events and during the annual plan renewal. All in all, a medical FSA helps you afford healthcare and save money.
Great, some good information there. On your screen now, you have the eligible expenses for the healthcare FSA, which includes copays, deductibles, dental, orthodontia, vaccinations, ineligible ones are cosmetic procedures, vitamins, diet products, all things of that nature. A few of my favorites, oddly, are and you might not know this, there's heating pads that you can get, also sunscreen, which that's been a big one lately. They just added that the past couple of years. So those are a couple of my favorites. And the thermometers, the digital thermometers, those are eligible as well. So those are really helpful in day to day, but there's a pretty extensive list. This is just a short piece of that list. Okay, and limited purpose, that's gonna just be for vision and dental care. A little bit of the same, some of the same things with orthodontia, wisdom tooth extraction, that's for dental, vision, eye exams, eyeglasses. Ineligible expenses are going to be the cosmetic procedures, again, the non-prescription glasses, medical costs, which would not qualify if you have that limited flex. All right. And next up would be the dependent care account. And this one has another short little video I'm going to play for you, and then we'll resume right after that.
A dependent care FSA lets you save up to 30% on care expenses for your eligible dependents while you work or go to school. Think about what you pay right now, 30%. It's a pre-tax benefit account, meaning you elect to contribute a certain amount each year, and those funds come out of your paycheck before taxes are taken. You can contribute up to $5,000 per year, or you and your spouse can contribute $2,500 each, divided into equal payroll deductions. Then, you use those pre-tax contributions for things like childcare, after-school programs, day camp, even adult daycare or elder care. When you first enroll, you'll get a TASC card to pay for those expenses. A dependent care FSA is a money-in, money-out account, so as payroll deductions come in, those funds are available for you to spend using your card. If you pay out of pocket, your reimbursement goes to a separate account on your TASC card. Use these MyCash funds on anything. Apart from the annual contribution limit, other rules apply. The primary one is your care expenses must be necessary so you and your spouse can work, look for work, or attend school. That's all on a full-time basis. Who's considered an eligible dependent? It could be your child under age 13, an older child or spouse unable to care for themselves, or an older relative. You must be able to claim that person as a dependent on your income tax return, and they must live with you in your home to qualify. Ensuring your loved ones are taken care of while you work to support them can be tough. A Dependent Care FSA makes your most important job a little easier.
Okay, some really helpful information there. And I do want to note that the dependent care is by paycheck. So that is not available to you day one, the full balance. That is by your payroll deductions. So once that money goes in, you're available to get reimbursed for that expense. On the screen here, you have some examples, daycare expenses. They kind of went through that on the little thing there, but you've got registration fees, nanny expenses. Ineligible is always going to be tuition, transportation, overnight camps, things of those natures are not eligible. Here's a little more about the qualifications. It must be necessary for the person to be allowed to work or attend school full time. Calendar year, it cannot exceed 5,000. And it just definitely must be for the eligible people. So we have dependent who is younger than 13, a spouse who is physically or mentally unable to care for themselves, and a dependent who is physically or mentally unable to care for themselves. And there's also a little bit more on the elder care. Now, the elder care must be primarily for the individual's care. It cannot be used for medical services. So examples of that, which are on the screen as well, in-home elder care, help with meals, bathing, dressing, supervision to ensure safety, adult daycare centers, household services, meal prep, companionship. Those are really good, things for this account, but it cannot be anything medical related. So if you are going to submit, to be reimbursed for that, it has to be separated out if there's a dual purpose being met where the individual is also having medical services and also the elder care. So it does have to be separated out. A great tool is the dependent care contract. And I know that's out on your microsite, which I'll have the website on one of the slides towards the end, but this is the best way to get reimbursed for your dependent care because you don't have to submit your receipts every week or biweekly or however often you're submitting your receipts in a claim. This is a one-stop shop. You get this filled out, you submit that at the beginning of each plan year because it will be necessary to redo it for the next plan year. And you'll be able to have once your contributions are into your account, those reimbursements happen automatically. And a little bit more about that, just kind of what I said, replaces the standard daycare receipts. It allows for reoccurring claim that'll automatically pay out and it ensures all your funds are utilized and reduces the chance of you forfeiting any funds.
Helen, we have a really good question that goes
Sure.
right into that.
Okay.
In reference to dependent care on a calendar year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad to answer that. You guys, we are on a fiscal year.
Mm-hmm.
So your plan election aligns with that.
Mm-hmm.
However, because the limit is on a calendar year,
Mm-hmm.
I audit that to make sure that you guys do not go over.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. If you were to enroll late, you would not be able to enroll in the maximum amount.
Yeah.
And I do know that there is an increase for dependent care accounts this year
Mm-hmm.
coming up. So that's good news.
That is well overdue,
Well overdue.
I honestly think individuals are spending so much more than that. Even back when my son was younger, he's older now, but I was spending, double that, per year. I can't imagine what dependent care is now. I hope they keep, raising that limit because it's really needed.
It's like 72 or $7,300. So yeah,
Yep.
but yeah, so we are on a fiscal,
Yeah.
but I do audit for a calendar year so that you guys do not over contribute.
Perfect. And I think the thing too to that slide was more of because individuals sometimes forget to submit their receipts or something like that, and they end up not utilizing the funds. So that dependent care contract is just so automatic. It's really the way to go. And from my experience and a lot of our participants' experience, it really works for them. So, okay, so now we're going to get to how to access funds. There's three ways, your benefits debit card, request for reimbursement, and also pitch to pay provider. So when you submit for your reimbursement, you can actually request that pays directly to the provider for you. So that's a lot of people do that option. Notes about the TASC card, it cannot be used for expenses incurred prior to the plan year. That's a biggie. If the card is used and swiped for something ineligible, it will need to be paid back. And also the IRS does require verification on transactions. So if it's required, you will be notified, and you are supposed to keep your receipts per the IRS. And segueing into that is your MyCash account. I know sometimes this one gets a little sticky with individuals. I sometimes, forget a couple of things on my own account, but when you do submit for reimbursement, especially with your dependent care, because those are large numbers, more than likely, right? You're spending, that money throughout the week or two, and you need that right back. The MyCash, you can use it wherever. So basically you have three ways to use it. When you get your reimbursement from, say, your dependent care or a manual claim that you've submitted, those funds go right back on that card and you can use them wherever. Our card is a smart card where it will know it has your FSA money on one end, and then it has your reimbursement money on your MyCash, what we call MyCash, on the other end. So you can absolutely do that. Or, if you don't want that back on the card, you can turn around and you can enter your banking information, have it ACH to you. You can request a check. That will probably be the slowest way to get reimbursed, but there are people that do that. And there's no expiration on those funds. So those are always on your MyCash, whatever you choose to do with them. Okay, some mobile app tools and features. Typical with mobile, a lot of the mobile apps is the biometric security. You've got the Touch ID, the Face ID, the passcode. That is for added security to protect your account. And that's typical with a lot of the apps, I believe, nowadays. So, okay, reimbursement submissions. This is where you would submit for your reimbursement. You can take a picture of your receipt, and then you just choose what kind of, expense it was. And, you go through the prompts through the app, and it will submit those reimbursements for you. And you'll get a little check mark usually saying it's there, and you can look at it and track it. I can't say anything bad about the mobile app. I personally use the mobile app a lot. Another kind of little security thing too is if you have gone to, say you were at the pharmacy getting a prescription, you didn't have your TASC card on you not sure if you kind of lost it, you can actually, block the card. And when you find the card, you can unblock it via your app. So that's a really good security piece as well. It hasn't happened often, but in it, if you think it's home but you're not sure because you could have dropped it or something, you can click on the app and you can block that card just in case. And then when you get home, you find it, you hit unblock, and it works again immediately. This is another one of my favorites with the app. You can get into your app, and I think it's down where it says more there, the menu. You click the menu and you can look up a healthcare expense if you're not sure if it's eligible. I find myself doing this in the middle of the drugstore. You can also scan the barcodes of the item. We didn't have that technology before, but it has been a while, but we've had it for a while now, and that's very helpful as well. So if you don't really want to, I mean, no, I know for me, my lettering is pretty large on my app, so I tend to use the barcode. I just my type is too high. So that's a really good one. If you're not sure if something's eligible, that will tell you right then and there before you try to purchase it. Okay, receipt repository. This is a really good one because obviously the IRS requires you to keep your receipts. You can digital file your receipts right on the app, and that keeps them right there for you. It's another cool feature. And we also have a card holder too. That option's out there if you wanted to upload your cards and have them inside your app. We have that as well. That's really helpful, and a lot of people use that. All right, last slide I'm just going to leave up. These are a lot of the contact information for TASC, support requests, instructions, also telephone support. We are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. all time zones. And I did get onto your microsite out there, and that has everything, if not more, of what I've gone over today. So that is also going to be very helpful for you. I did see you have that dependent care contract out there and just a lot of really, really good information. This is just an overview for today, but that microsite is really, really good. So I would definitely go there if you're unsure or you need a form or something like that. That's going to help you tremendously. And I think that's it. So I'm going to leave this screen up here in case anybody needs to screenshot or write down numbers or anything like that. And certainly we can hand it over some questions.
So, Donna, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, not at this time. Just that I'm here for everyone to assist everyone. I know that letter of medical necessity is needed for some over-the-counter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
However, this is a good question, Patty has in our chat. May I use the task card to purchase sunscreen through Amazon? If so, what would the process be? And thank you.
You can. I actually just did this a few weeks ago. Not that it's super warm here anymore, but I did go in and you would just add the task card. So like you have your normal credit cards listed in Amazon, you would add the task card. And when you go to checkout, you would just click on your task card and change that. And that should be accepted, no problem.